Good morning, students. I welcome you all to Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts, Commerce and Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. So, we start with our ninth chapter in economics. Okay. Now, last period we studied about children regarding aims and objectives of economic policy of 1991. Now, today we'll study about the features of economic policy of 1991. So the first feature of economic policy is what? De-licensing. De-licensing means what? That government should give completely freedom of licensing. Now see, under government, there are how many? 18 specified industries were under government. But then afterwards, as I have repeated this, government took only 4 industries under them. That is compulsory. And remaining other industries, then government made it in private sectors. That is made in or encouraged in privatization. So the industries which government kept under him, that is compulsory license, these industries should have. That is electronic, aerospace and defense equipment, industrial explosives, hazardous chemicals, drugs, and pharmaceuticals, secrets. And also one of the public departments say government has kept, that is what? Railways children. So de-licensing means what? From that 18 industries, only 4 industries compulsory government has made them to keep license. And other 14 industries government encouraged them to go into private sector. So this is de-licensing, the first feature of new economic policy of 1991. Then the second one is what? Abolition of monopolies and restrictive trade practices. Monopolies. Now, what happened? Why this MRTP Act came? So, government wanted to encourage large industries. Government wanted to expand large industries. But the thing is, before 1991, what happened? There was slow industrial growth. Why slow industrial growth was there? Compulsory license government had made. Then government wanted that people should pay taxes. So whenever they wanted to make industries or to start new industries, they had to take permission of central government. Compulsory licensing was required. Due to this, what happened? The young entrepreneurs were not motivated to start industries early, and there was low industrial growth. So, to encourage large industries, government started this Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act, that is called as MRTP Act, children. Then the third one is encouragement of small sector. Now, the third feature of this 1991 policy, children, what is that? That is encouragement of small sector. Now, the government encouraged small sector units. So, why he encouraged? Because government wanted what? Economic growth rate should be higher, employment should be there, then import and export sector should be improved. That means our international relations should develop. So government told that small sector encouragement or their investment limit will be up to rupees 1 crore to 5 crores. So this was an encouragement to small sector, children. See, first we studied about de-licensing. Second is about MRTP Act. And the third one is regarding encouragement to small sector. Any queries in this 3 points, children? Yes? Anyone have children? Okay. Second point. See, second point is Abolition of Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act. Now, this is what? Why this act was introduced? MRTP Act. See, previously what we studied in introduction, that government imposed taxes, then it made compulsory license. But government also wanted improvement where? In economic growth. So when will be economic growth? When industries will be there more, expansion, growth of industries will be more. So this MRTP Act concentrates on large industrial growth, which will improve economic growth and development of country. And that's why Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act came into existence, which encourage industrial growth. Means this MRTP Act was cancelled. This abolition was done regarding this. What came into existence? New economic policy in the year 1991. That means new economic policy of 1991 will concentrate on future economic growth and development. So abolition of this act, that is monopolies and restrictive trade practice, was removed by the government. Now see, monopoly means what, children? A single seller. Meaning of monopoly is what? A single seller in the market. During that time, that person has only the right to buy or say to sell the goods. Customers will be there, but he will be the only person in the market to sell the good. That is called as monopoly. So this monopoly seller will sell the good at any price. For one customer he will sell at 10 rupees, for other customer he will sell at 20, for other customer he will sell at 50 rupees. There are no restrictions on that. But due to this, what happens? There is conflict between the buyers. So this total, that is monopolies, restrictive trade practice abolition, means what? Removal of this MRTP Act, and new economic policy of 1991 came into existence. Why it came into existence? So that industrial growth will be there, children. Understood, children? Ha. Difference between the prices. Monopoly means what? Difference between the prices he was making. So customer will see, Are, this person is selling me at 5 rupees, for other person is selling at 50 rupees. What this type of seller is? He doesn't have uniform price. म्हणजे एक समान प्राइस त्यांनी कुणाला ठेवलं नाही. मग त्यावेळेस काय होणार मार्केटमध्ये? कन्फ्लिक्ट होणार का नाही? तुम्ही जाणार का मार्केटमध्ये खरेदी करायला वस्तू? नाही जाणार. मग त्याच्यामुळे इकॉनॉमिक ग्रोथ काय होणार? It will become slow. And that's why they have told completely remove this monopolies and restrictive trade practices. Understood? So one was delicensing. Second one was what? Abolition of monopolies and restrictive trade practice. Abolition means remove that thing. And the third point was what? Encouragement of small sector. Now we'll see the fourth point, children. What is the fourth point? It is to encourage foreign investment. We have studied FDI. FDI means what, children? FDI? Right, very good. Indirect investment. Now, why to encourage that foreign direct investment, children? Because FDI, what has done? Industrial policy of 1991 has approved this FDI. Why? So that there will be high investment, and technology will also will use what? Advanced technology will use in a company. So that whatever foreign direct investment was there, 51% it was there, total investment approved by the government. Now this investment has increased up to 100% for specific industries. Okay, children. So this is what? Encouragement of small sector. That is the government encouraged, or say foreign investment, FDI. It encouraged means first priority was 51% of total investment in selected industries. And afterwards, then it increased from 74%. And then again, afterwards, it increased to 100%. That is for specific industries. So why FDI was increased, children? So that investment will be more, we will get foreign money. And when foreign money comes inside, our economic growth will be there, as well as we will be upgraded with the technology. Whatever technology is there, whatever modern technology is there, it will be upgraded. Just excuse me 1 minute, children. Some students are sending requests. Just excuse me. Now, see, we finished with 4 points. Now we'll come to fifth point, that is reducing role of public sector. See, now government, what he wants to do? He wants to earn profit. But when all the companies are in public sector, government interference is there, profit is less. So to earn profit, to have economic growth and development, the fifth point is reducing role of public sector. So who want this? Government. So what government did? See, the first step to reduce public sector, government state, what it did? It ended to state monopoly. As I'm repeating again, monopoly is what? A single seller. So that trade practices will be removed. No monopoly in the market. Then the second one is what? Improving efficiency of public sector. Efficiency means what? Work contribution, giving them jobs or production capacity. Improve that. Whichever companies are in public sector, improve their capacity of work, efficiency in production. And the third step regarding this reducing role of public sector is to release capital blocked in sick public sector enterprises. Now, what is sick public sector means, children? As I told you, first year you could start a company. Then, first year we don't expect profit. Okay. Second year your company is there. Second year also balance is there. Say no profit, no loss. Then the third year also, if loss is there, company is not having any profit for continuous 3 years, then that company can be in danger and it can be called as sick industry. Sometimes companies loan if it is more, then it is time to wind up that company. So that is called as sick industries. So government told that check these sick industries. If anyone wants to merge it or if anyone wants to overlap that company or take that company in hand, people can do this. Why? To earn profit. So release whatever the sick industries are there, whatever the problems are there. If any company wants to merge it, if anyone wants to solve that problem, they can solve and make the companies function smoothly. So, like that, government encouraged private sector. Then the new economic policy was reduced. What it was doing? It reducing the number of industries in public sector. That means from 17 to 8. That means the public industries were how much? As we have studied further, 18. From that 18, government made 4 compulsory. Then again from 17 industries, only 8 were under public department. And in this, like 2014, this year tells us that 2014 year tells us that only 2 industries are completely reserved for public, that is under government, and that is railways and atomic energy. So these only 2 industries will be under public department. Other industries will be working as private sectors. So this is our fifth point, reducing role of public sector. Any queries in this point, children? Yes. Okay. So we'll come to our next point, sixth one. Okay. Wait a 1 minute, children. Now I am audible. Okay. Okay. Now come to the sixth point, that is trade liberalization. Now trade liberalization. Liberalization meaning is what? Completely freedom. We want completely freedom. So your trade liberalizations means they have told what? Import licensing control should be abolished, removed, cancelled. So almost all capital goods, raw materials, immediate goods, or other components which are made freely importable means these things like raw materials say or any goods, intermediate goods say this should be free importable. No taxes should be charged by the government. No taxes on trade practices. And whatever established exporters are there, they should raise external credit to finance their trade. Means exporters are there, what they should raise, whatever the loan facilities are there or whatever money they require, they raise their trade. So they have told that SEZ, that is special economic zones, what they do, they promote exports, children. And the government also introduced the concept of AEZ, that is agro export zone, to encourage agricultural exports, children. So special economic zone is established to what? To encourage which one? Export. And agro export zone also encourage agricultural exports. So the thing is, in trade liberalization they have clearly told that on import taxes should be less or free of charge. Whatever import of goods will be there, that should be free of charge. And if export is there, that export should come under special economic zones and AEZ. That is, government should also concentrate on agro export zone, that is agricultural export products, so that economically we will be a higher position in higher position. That is called as what? Trade liberalization. Did you understood? Trade liberalization. That means freely import procedure should be there, and export procedure, whatever it is there, in that whatever taxes or whatever charges are there, government should make it less. So under this 6 points, no one has any query, children? Hello. Okay. Okay. Now we'll study the last remaining 2 points today. That is seventh one. Reforms in insurance sector. Now, reforms in insurance sector means what, children? It was a monopoly of the government. Insurance sector means only government used to handle this insurance sector. But then, according to this new economic policy, what happened? They passed a new policy called as IRD, that is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act, in the year 1999. Why? To introduce reforms in this sector. That means this IRDA Insurance Act will give license to many private companies to enter insurance business. And then this ended the monopoly of government in this sector. See, again I am telling what they have told, that first only government monopoly was there, means government only ruled on insurance sector. But then after new economic policy, again a new rule came, that is called as IRDA. That means Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act came into existence in the year 1999. Why it came into existence? So that private industries will get license more encouragement will be there for private companies, and this monopoly trend will be removed, and government thus ended this monopoly trend in business sector, and it encouraged private industries more. So they have told new change reform means what? New change came in insurance sector. Then the 8 point is what? Reforms in financial sector. Now, what happened? Earlier, only cooperative banks and public sector banks were doing business in financial sector. But then government, according to this new economic policy, made new private banks and foreign banks, children. Many new banks, private banks and foreign banks came into existence. Why? Because of this new economic policy in 1991. Otherwise, only few banks were there under government which were working for business sector. So only cooperative and public sector banks were permitted to do banking business. But after new economic policy, what has happened? Government permitted entry of new private banks and foreign banks. So can you tell me any five private banks or foreign banks name, children, which government encouraged new private foreign banks? Any idea? Yes. Anyone, at least anyone, any idea? Private bank or foreign bank? Hello. Yes, HDFC Bank. So whether it is a foreign or private bank. Yes, HDFC Bank came into existence newly it is. HDFC was not first, then Axis Bank, whether it is private or foreign, children. Axis Bank, foreign. How many of you agree? Maybe. So this will be your homework today. Find out. Today you have to find out any five private banks or any five foreign banks. Any five for your knowledge. Sure. So names of any five private banks and foreign banks, and also see Axis Bank whether it is private or foreign. Okay. So that curiosity will be there in you, right? And which banks are foreign. Yes. Ha. ICCI Bank is what, private or foreign bank? Foreign. Yes. Private bank. ICICI. Right. ICICI. Okay. Good.